through what we've done, SLM, probably safe to say that every area of my life has improved. I get invited to events without even asking. I've been around some very beautiful girls, choose out of an abundance of options from here, and now I've been able to choose one who's best for me. How can I be better? Because I know that every time I improve one of those, my life improves. The right time, honestly, was yesterday.
Guys, we are with Tom, one of the SLM members, and what I want to do is talk him through his experience. We already know we're good friends, so I want you to explain to everyone that's watching, what was your life like before and how it all changed. So take us back to before you joined SLM. What were the things that you were doing and what was Tom's life like then?
Life started, look, I was always excelling in the professional and the sporting space. I was a good athlete and I had a good career. I was a physio, for reference. And I'd say that maybe 6 or 12 months before I'd met Sam, I knew there was problems with my social and my dating life and that needed to change. So I was already on the path a little bit, but I hadn't really gotten it to stick yet. I had that sticky feeling and it really hadn't soared yet. And that's where I reached out to you probably at the end of, 2022? I was interested in learning a little bit more about a different city in Melbourne, in Gold Coast. I was living in Melbourne, Australia, and I was wanting a bit of a change. I was wanting to really skyrocket my social life, and I thought Sam had the tools to do so. So that's where we reached out. So in summary, doing okay life-wise, wasn't gonna die, but I was pretty unfulfilled with what I was doing socially. I was pretty unfulfilled in terms of the quality of my dating life. And things were starting to show some signs of promise, but it just hadn't really skyrocketed.
Yeah, so you were starting at something. There was something there.
There was some traction. I had a couple of female friends. I was starting to get a taste of what a different kind of lifestyle would be. But I still felt, one of the biggest problems that I had was I always felt out of the loop. I felt like I just had that sense of I could see the cool kids over there, but I couldn't get over the velvet rope, or I couldn't get someone to open the velvet rope for me.
Yeah, so there was that barrier, that blocking there. And that what was that feeling like, knowing that you could see it, knowing that it was there, but not knowing how to get there, the path to get there?
From someone that's pretty analytical, that's pretty frustrating. When you have a math problem in front of you, or you have a problem in front of you and you can't exactly know the tools or the skills or the lingo in order to get through that hurdle.
It's there, but
you just ruminate on it for quite a while.
Yeah.
And it can really, I guess, paralyze you in a way, because you're trying to figure out an analytical problem. It's probably not an analytical problem, but you try and think of it that way. You try and rationalize and go, hey, how am I going to get through this to get in with the cool kids? So frustrating, annoying, demotivating, if anything, pissed off.
Right.
Because I felt like I, maybe not deserved, but I knew that I could get there, but I didn't know how.
You knew that potential was there.
Potential was there.
Right, that can always be very frustrating when you're I know where I want to go, I know what I want to do. And so what were some of the things that got you, because now your life is a lot different than it was back then.
Yes.
So, fast forward a couple of years, what were some of the things that you noticed, not only the changes that you made, but, the mindset shifts, the understanding, the accountability that SLM provides? What were some of the things that really did skyrocket you?
I'll be honest, from a global, if I look back at where I was 18 months ago, shit. You said the other day about you look back on yourself sometimes. When you experience so much change, one of the signs that you know you're improving is you look back and you cringe at some of the behaviors that you had before.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's when you know you're fucking on the right path. So I look back at some of the mindsets, I look back at some of my social skills, I look at the lack of network that I had, just the lack of access, logistics, and it was terrible. It was really piss poor. And that's where some of the things that specifically, I guess, helped me get over that velvet rope was the ability to talk shop with people that I usually wouldn't connect with usually. People that even would be maybe, honestly, higher status, or someone that probably wouldn't give a damn about me if I didn't have some specific skills. I was able to use social media to bridge gaps between people that I usually wouldn't hang out with. And I would say I also developed the audaciousness to actually find a way through the path. Use some social skills, use some communication skills that are part of SLM. Use some of the networking tactics that have just allowed me to just get past that struggle.
What was the, because one of the things that was a little bit of an issue, but it was, still progressing nicely, but it was a bit of an issue, was having the access, but not being able to capitalize on it. Because that's what a lot of people find, and they find that they might be around these people, whether it might be, network, they might be around the gorgeous models, but they just can't get over that next hurdle, like kind of that potential. You can. So what were some of the things with you that changed specifically around there?
Learning what do other people value, learn that people are self-interested, and how can I provide an exchange here so that people will want to be around me? People will have all the incentive to have me in their circle. So whereas once before I was that person that might have been knocking on or pulling on the velvet rope, but I didn't have anything behind me to show that I could, be worthwhile being in that circle. Now I had people around me. I had girls around me. I had social media skills. I know how to use a camera. I know how lighting works. I can create great video content. I can take good photos of other people. So that when I come up to the velvet rope, they're like, hell yeah, bring this guy in immediately because he's going to level up us as a whole.
Yeah, you're projecting that value like you were. One of the things that we noticed with you was curating your Instagram was a certain way, and then we changed it a little bit. So how did that affect most of the things that you were doing? So one of the aspects within Tom, we tried to create an edge for him a little bit.
I was having some success with spending a lot of time, I guess, being identified as the person who was around a lot of girls, particularly very, very attractive girls in my city. And that was off the back of doing things like photo shoots. Now that gave me a lot of success, but you can't just immediately translate that to everyone thinks that you are the man, you are the stud, you are the guy that a girl would want to date or even fight over. That's where I think we were able to redefine those values. We talk about defining your new reality. That's one of the modules in SLM. And that is where I knew there was a problem there. I was getting around the girls now and around the high value guys, but there was a little bit of, you could call it on a mild scale, like nice guy behavior, a lack of edge, a lack of really strong masculinity. The word is aura at the moment.
Yeah.
I think that's the buzz.
Life maxing an aura.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, definitely in there. And then, so progress now. Tell us what your life looked like now.
I would honestly say that through what we've done, SLM, the modules, spending time with Sam, it's probably safe to say that every area of my life has improved. So I was able to, from a work perspective, get out of a 9-to-5 typical time for money job, and now I'm able to do remote work that does generate a full-time income. And I'm going to continue to scale that to the point where I can leave past ventures and I don't need them anymore. Yep. From the social side of things, I get invited to events without even asking. Like, honestly, if I packed it up from here and I didn't put in any work, I would still be getting invites to different things around my city. I don't really need to invest in it. I will, but I don't need to. And then from the dating side of things, I've been around some very beautiful girls and not all of them were for me. And that's where I've actually been able to choose out of an abundance of options from here. And now I've been able to choose one who's the best for me. I've been in a great relationship so far. So having the abundance there of events, social, dating options, I pretty much get to choose how I dictate my reality. What do you call it? Like reality bending in a way, kind of thing. Yeah. Everything comes from a much greater place of abundance as a whole, and I can choose at will what I do.
Which area do you think, whether it's the SLM course, the Matheson method, or 7 Pillars, has really helped that for you?
All of them are fantastic and for specific reasons, but for me, I guess being quite analytical, the 7 Pillars of Status was the biggest one for me. I think it's the best framework to learn about how can you maximize your potential. And I'm all about improving every area of my life. Being in health, you want to make sure that you maximize the amount of muscle, you want to feel great, energetic, you want to feel 10 out of 10. So the 7 Pillars of Status gave me a framework to say, okay, I know exactly where I'm at in each domain of my life. what are the habits that are holding me back from being at a higher score, and how can I grow? How can I be better? Because I know that every time I improve one of those, my life improves.
Yep, very much so. Out of the courses, the calls, the accountability, the groups and stuff, what's been your favorite part of the community or of the network?
This is a great question, because you come in for, a lot of guys will come into this or maybe watch this call potentially, and I'll be completely honest, you're probably coming in for it for the dating on the social side.
Yeah, for sure.
But then you start to also value the community side of things. You start valuing different opinions. I mean, you're able to network with some other high-level guys that you might not have thought you might have initially met, or you might have never even met in your whole life because they're on another side of the world. So there's a community side of it that can't be undervalued. And then number two is obviously the group calls are just sick. I mean, God, I was just thinking about all the inside jokes that we had before we started this video, and I was going to burst out laughing for some of the jokes that we have and stuff like that. But
we've got a couple.
We got
the autistic jokes. We got the small man jokes. The CRM.
I feel like we should turn off the recording right now for some of these things. But just the fun of it all, the enjoyment. You learn to, whilst this is a very serious thing to change your life and want to get the most out of it, it makes it just a very fun, enjoyable journey and stuff like that. To be around like-minded individuals that want to make a change for themselves and not feel like you're that person that's just like I said, out of the crowd. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Some guy watching this, whether he's skipping through, he sees that last bit where it's like he's unsure. He doesn't know whether he wants to take that next leap. He knows that the potential, kind of similar to you or your experience, and he knows that it's there, and he's not sure whether he wants to, make the commitment. What would you tell that person?
There's no right time. There's never a right time, and the right time, honestly, was yesterday. And if you're the kind of person that actually wants to make this change, at the end of the day, you have to make the change. And you do not want to put this off at all, okay? And once you've done that, then you figure out, honestly, based on everything that you've done so far, can you do this on your own, or do you need help? And look, if 99% of us did an audit of have we achieved everything we want in our social and dating lives, most people do not have the tools, and things are evolving, things are adapting. So the tools that we could have used 20 years ago are not going to apply now. Social media, take for example. Yeah. So you got to realize that probably at the end of the day, you're going to need some help here. You need to take that hard pill and say, hey, I need some help here. And then from there, if you know that you need help, it's just a matter of taking a leap of faith, trusting in what Sam has done, the body of work that he's done, the hours and hours and thousands, tens of thousands. What's the exact number? Do you know? Like how many people you've?
I know the course has taken 4.5 years for the course.
Yeah, and then he's spent time talking to tens of thousands of guys. So you just got to trust in the process, and then from there do the bloody work. So I would say to you, now is the right time. Get out of your own way. Know that you need help, and then from there take the leap of faith, knowing that this is going to change your life, because it changed for me.